Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to Physio Move and Groove. My name is Jeannie, and I'm a physical therapist with over 25 years of experience helping people to move well, feel well, and be well. So, anyone here ever stretch their hamstrings over and over and over again, and despite stretching your hamstrings all the time, they still feel tight? I know that happens to a lot of people. So what do? You stretch a little more. You hold it a little bit longer. You know that you're doing the stretch properly, yet again, your hamstrings always feel tight. Well, folks, I hate to break it to you. It is probably not because your hamstrings are tight, but it is probably because you have something called nerve tension. And that unless you mobilize that nerve, your hamstrings are going to continue to feel tight. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to teach you 3 simple exercises you can do to mobilize that nerve and improve your hamstring flexibility. So first off, I want everyone to just stand up, reach your hands up high up into the air. I want you to keep your legs straight, and I want you to bend forward as far as you can go. And you can see right here that as I bend forward, I cannot touch my hands to the floor, not even close to my toes. And I start to feel this kind of achy sort of feeling in behind my knees. So now we're going to ask ourselves, well, is that my hamstrings, or is that because I have nerve tension? And when we talk about nerve tension, we're talking about that sciatic nerve, because it runs from the lower part of your back all the way down the back of your leg into your heel. So next thing I want you to do is go ahead and sit down in a chair. And I want you to sit with your back perfectly straight. And I want you to kick up one leg, it doesn't matter which one, point your toes and kick it up straight for me. And then I want you to bend your neck down. Now, what you may be feeling is a little bit of tension in the back of your knee. Now what I want you to do is lift your head up. And I'm going to ask you, do you still feel that tension feeling, or is it less? Now don't point your toe, relax your foot. And do you still have that tension behind the knee? If that tension that you had is gone, this is not because of hamstring tightness. It is because of the nerve tension, and we have to mobilize it. So your very first exercise for mobilizing your nerve is actually what the test is. So in sitting, you're going to make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. You're going to point your foot up towards the ceiling, and then you're going to kick your leg up to just before you feel that tension, and then you're going to bring it back down. And you're going to go back and forth like that, nice and slow. Again, as soon as you feel that tension, you're going to back off. Now, this is the difference between mobilizing the nerve and hamstring stretching. So with hamstring stretching, you're holding the stretch for 30 seconds and doing it for 2 minutes. With mobilizing the nerve, you're doing just that. You are moving your leg to try to loosen up that nerve. So you're going to end up doing it about 12 to 15 times. And it's important to do both legs because, again, you have a sciatic nerve that runs down both legs. Now, at no time do I want any of these 3 exercises that I teach you to give you any back pain. So same thing on the other side, toe up, sit up tall, and kick that leg out to just when you start to feel that tension, and then release it. And again, you will repeat this 12 to 15 times, and you can do it a few times throughout your day. So for all you people with desk jobs, this is a super important one to help mobilize that nerve. Now, another option for you is lying down on your back. Looks like a hamstring stretch, but it's got a little bit of a difference. So you're going to use a belt, and you're going to put it at the ball of your foot. And then you're going to lie down. You're going to bring your hip up to about 90 degrees. But what you're doing with the belt is making sure that you pull your foot up towards you. So you don't want your foot pointed away. You want to use the belt to pull your foot up towards you. And then you're going to straighten your leg till you feel that tension. And then you're going to bend your leg. But the whole time, you're keeping that belt with the tension, pulling the ball of your foot up towards you. And this is the same principle. We are mobilizing the nerve. So in order to mobilize the nerve, you have to move. And again, you're going to do it 12 to 15 times, nice and slow, each leg. I'm only going to show you about 6 times. I'll show you on the other leg as well. Again, you just take your belt. You can use a bathrobe belt as well. You're going to have your hip flexed to about 90 degrees. You're pulling on the belt to get that toe up towards you, and then you're straightening your leg as much as you can till you feel that tension, and then releasing it. Again, super important that you don't feel any back pain when you do this. So if you know that you already have an inflamed sciatic nerve and you know that you've got a lot of back pain, you might not want to do this exercise right away because you could irritate it more. If it's just simply hamstring tightness that does not seem to release, then this is the exercise for you. And then when you're done your 12 to 15 reps, you can simply take it off, kind of do your pelvic tilt forward and back, just to kind of loosen up your back a little bit. And we've got one more trick to show you in a standing position. Okay, folks, so this is probably one of my favorite ways to help mobilize that nerve. It's a bit of a different position, but I feel like it's the most effective. Again, you do not want to have back pain or sciatic leg irritation already. I don't want you to try this particular exercise if you have those symptoms. But if not, just hamstring tightness, here we go. You're going to find a wall that's free and clear. And then what you're going to do is you want to be able to get your hands so that they're straight. Your hands are on the wall, your arms are straight. You actually want to go all the way down. You're going to bend your knees to start with so that your hip, your shoulders are actually kind of at the same level as what your hips are. You want your head to be in a straight neutral position. So you don't want your head up or your head down. You just want it to be kind of in a neutral position. You also kind of want to have your chest so that it's falling down towards the ground and you're pushing with your arms to elongate through your whole spine. And then you want a pelvic neutral position. So not quite back, not quite forward, but right in between. Once you get into that position, you're simply just going to straighten your legs. You're going to keep the heels down on the ground, and then you're going to actually bend those knees up and down. Now, as you straighten your legs, you are going to feel that hamstring tension, and that's okay. You go up to where you feel the hamstring tension, and then you back off. And again, folks, this is the difference between a hamstring stretch and mobilizing the nerve, is that you move when you do it. Nice and slow, 12 to 15 times. This should not cause any back pain. If it does, then I don't want you doing this exercise. You will feel tension in the knees as you straighten your legs, but again, you're in charge of how high up you go to straighten them. Just go back and forth 12 to 15 times. Again, keeping your head in that neutral position. And that's as simple as it is, 12 to 15 times. Okay, so now we're back after doing those 3 nerve mobilization exercises. I want you to take a big stretch up, and I want you to reach down and see how far you can go. And look at this, folks. I can now touch my hands. Now, they're not flat, but I can at least touch the ground, whereas before I did that, I was kind of down here. So in just that simple exercise, you can see how I improved my flexibility by just trying to mobilize that nerve. So it is not all about the hamstrings. So make sure that you do your hamstring stretch like you normally would, but also add on these nerve mobilizations so you're able to actually get everything moving as well as it should. And you'll just feel a lot looser after you do those exercises. So, as usual, I want to thank you all so much for watching this. Hopefully you'll be able to incorporate these nerve mobilization exercises into your daily routine. And I hope that you will subscribe so you can learn more interesting facts about our bodies each week. I hope you'll like it, make some comments, and of course, give me some ideas about some topics you'd like me to cover, because I'm always looking for new information. And if you do these things and we interact, I just feel like it makes it a much better experience for all of us, and it gives me the motivation to continue to make these videos. So thanks again for listening and watching these videos, and I'm going to dance my way out of here. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week.